Hello students, today I am teaching to you class 6 science chapter 6 changes around us. Today's topic is reversible and irreversible changes involving same materials. मतलब इससे लास्ट क्लास में हम लोगों ने देखा कि कुछ चेंजेस जो होते हैं रिवर्सिबल नेचर के होते हैं और कुछ इरिवर्सिबल नेचर के होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ कर्ड फ्रॉम मिल्क मीन्स एक बार वंस कर्ड इज formed from the milk, then we cannot obtain the milk from the curd. So we can say that we have seen some process or changes which are related to the reversible in nature and some changes are irreversible in nature. But today's class we will see both reversible and irreversible changes occurring in a same material. For example, if we talk about the folding of paper and cutting of paper, the folding of paper is a reversible change because when we take a sheet of paper and fold it to form anything, and then if we want to unfold this, again we get exactly the same sheet of paper. Then we can say that the folding of paper, it is a change of reversible in nature, but if we cut this paper into a number of small pieces, then the cutting of paper, it is an irreversible change because the change which occurs during the cutting of paper cannot be reversed. Means we cannot get back the same original sheet of paper exactly. So what we have seen here, the folding of paper is a reversible change, but the cutting of paper is a irreversible change because if we cut the paper into a small pieces with the help of any scissors or anything, then we cannot get back the original paper again. Next is the rolling a roti and baking a roti. Same material means roti is undergo in sometimes a reversible change, but in the other time it will go in a irreversible change. Suppose that at this time we have make a ball of dough and we roll this into a circular roti by using a rolling pin, which is also called vellan. Then This will be again, if you want to convert back into the ball of dough from the circular roti, it is possible. So we can say that the rolling of roti from the dough is a reversible change. But after that, when we bake the rolled roti on a tawa, then we cannot obtain the original ball of dough. So we can say that the baking of a roti is a change of irreversible nature. So in the second example, we look back into the matter that when we rolled a roti from a ball of dough, at that time we will get back again a ball of dough from the circular shape roti. But after the baking the rolled roti, we cannot get back the original ball of dough. Hence we can say that the baking of roti is a type of irreversible change. Some other examples are also mentioned in your book as like this. Let us discuss another example. Another example is the shaping of wet clay into clay pot and baking a clay pot. This is exactly similar to the previous one example, like rolling of roti and baking of roti. In this case also, if a potter wants to make a instrument with the help of wet clay, then they can be able to make a different shape and sizes from the given clay. So we can say that the shaping of a lump of means a group of or a bunch of, or we can say that a large amount of wet clay into a pot. So if we want to again get the raw clay from the shaping instrument, or shaping items, it can be possible, because the wet clay pot again can be converted into the original clay. That's why we can say that the shaping of wet clay into a clay pot, it is a type of reversible change, because we can again get back the clay pot from the wet clay material. But if the clay pots are baked in a oven then it becomes strong and hard, and they cannot be reversed or changed back into the original wet clay, because after it conversion into a hard material, there is not possible to change back into the original wet clay. So in short, we can say that the shaping of wet clay into the clay, it is the type of reversible change, but after it, if we bake the clay pot, then we cannot get back to the original clay. So the baking of clay pot, it is a type of irreversible change. In this way, the other example is inflating a balloon and bursting a balloon. The inflating a balloon, it is a type of reversible change, but when the balloon is burst while filling inside the air, then we cannot get back the original balloon. That's why we can say that the bursting of a balloon, it is a type of irreversible change. Because when we blow air into the balloon, the shape and size of the balloon changes and the balloon gets inflated. But after releasing the air from the balloon, it will again get back to its original shape and size. So we can say that inflating a balloon is a type of reversible change. But after bursting the balloon while filling the air into it, it cannot be get back to the original balloon. So we can say that the bursting of balloon, it is a type of an irreversible change. In the same way, another example, the melting of wax and burning of wax. Melting of wax, it is a type of reversible change, but burning of wax, it is a type of irreversible change. Look into the figure. When the solid wax melts on heating, it can be again converted into the solid wax by the cooling process. So we can say that the melting of wax is a reversible change. But if you look into the second figure, if you burn a candle which is made up of wax, it decreases in size and some of the wax burned in this case and lost away. So we can say that the burning of wax, it is a type of irreversible change, because the wax which is burnt in the lightning, this cannot be again obtained. So in short we can say that the burning of a wax, it is a type of irreversible change. So in this chapter we have seen that some changes which occur in our surrounding, these are reversible nature and some are irreversible nature, and some materials having both reversible and irreversible changes during the some conditions. And at last the chapter is completed, and if you have faced any problem related to this chapter, then you can ask me. Okay, thank you.